who am I? You know, who am I to the people? You know, I have a kid now, like I said before. Honestly, it's just that fatherhood time. You know, I haven't yet spent much more time with my son as I would want to. And he'll understand that as he gets older. If I can see, like, how can I change and how can I give my son more knowledge rather than luxury things, then I'm gonna do that. My father, though, is the one that really, he knows me best. He's seen me at my worst, he's seen me at my best, you know, and he's gonna be the one that definitely is gonna tell me the things that I really need to focus on how can I beat this guy. I trust him with my life.
It's the first win. It's the break. The first minute hurt.
Before the crowd and the sound, the real battle starts well ahead of the bell. It does not begin in a ring or under bright lights, but in moments where confidence is challenged and daily routines are pushed aside. Two fighters with different styles move toward the same night, coming from opposite paths.
I want everyone to see that, you know, my father didn't become trainer of the year just by luck. You know, in 2020, you know, we beat the most decorated fighter pound for pound during that time, Vasily Lomachenko. That was from him. You know, he told me how the game plan had to go.
And he'll push him and he'll freaking just start dogging him. But he's trained for that. He's trained to keep on doing that every round. So when he spars, I tell him, okay, you can box. Yeah. You can box, but what's gonna happen when you can't box no more? You get tired of it and you feel that guy's weight.
Yeah.
Touch your body, go on top, and then you go on. Good, go, put that head.
Concentrate.
Focus on the body, stay on top, and then lock your attention in. Teofimo Lopez has always lived in that uneasy place where self-trust leans toward challenge, where confidence is built from uncertainty instead of compliments. He has never been someone who needs perfect order or calm surroundings to succeed. In fact, disorder has often been the trigger that brings out his strongest form. That is exactly why his build-up for Shakur Stevenson is so interesting to watch.
Stevenson's so fascinating.
A lot of the times, you know, I didn't want to go into the gym. I didn't, you know, especially when I had to swim. You know, that was painful. But it was the training, the work ethics that you have to put in between the miles of running and the depths of how you have to sacrifice your whole body in this. You know, a lot of people don't understand, even to this day, how much we have to really do, how much we beat up our body.
So when he comes here, you go to the body. When he comes here, go to the body. Oh, beautiful. He can't touch it, champ.
This time, the outside noise has not thrown him off, it has sharpened his focus. Away from the spotlight, Teofimo's training has centered on refining the areas of his game that do not depend on raw energy, improving distance control, remaining disciplined between bursts of action, and adding structure to situations where he once relied on instinct.
You know what that is, right?
My father put me in with the top guys, professional fighters at like 12, 13 years old. You know, and that was something that I really enjoyed the most because it was hard. I would cry, I would run away, I didn't like it. I would tell him like, you know, this is not for me, I want to quit. And he would just, nope, no, you could do this. My father would flip it around sometimes and say, okay, you want to quit? We'll quit. And literally, I would stop for maybe a day or two and bug him, be like, hey, I want to go back in the gym. So I believe we had this connection, obviously, since.
The focus is not only on strength or quick athletic surges. It is built around patience, precise timing, and the awareness that against a fighter like Shakur, opportunities are limited. This training camp clearly carries a sense of responsibility. There is less effort spent playing to the audience and more time spent in honest self-reflection. Every workout seems aimed at answering one clear question. Can Teofimo stay alert and effective when the pace of the fight slows down?
You know, you gotta be serious and stuff. You know, yeah, that's to get focused on the fight, but gotta make it a fun camp. Right now, I'm gonna blow my dad's ear.
In the study of ancient America. But it was wrong.
Cover me.
The old notion has been completely Fossilized human footprints have been found in the New Mexican desert.
I don't feel good, bro. Why you do that to me, bro? And you film that too, man? You better erase that
He understands that Shakur performs best when rivals lose patience. Because of that, the focus now is on staying composed and applying pressure without speeding up. This is not the Teofimo who hunts for big moments. This is a fighter learning how to manage them. And that version is the most dangerous one.
And to take breaks in between camps, you know, or even in camp. We're so focused at what's at task that we end up forgetting to have fun. You know, we have a long week of training. Let's reward.
This is where Teofimo refines his edge by learning control. Shakur sharpens his own by cutting away anything unnecessary. His preparation for this fight has been calm, intentional, and almost methodical. It is built on repetition, clear focus, and making smart choices while tired. This camp is not about changing who he is. It is about polishing what is already there. Every workout is designed to strengthen the qualities that make him dangerous. Managing distance, staying balanced, perfect timing, and keeping his mind steady no matter what unfolds around him.
There we go, there we go. Left 15, all the way down.
Tweaking today.
Man, that's that prep. That's what you already been doing?
Yeah.
They got it.
That's good. I feel great. Sprints kind of be getting me right, you know, get my conditioning right. You know, sometimes in a fight could turn into a sprint.
Shakur trains with the mindset of someone who expects challenges, not shocks. He is preparing for the moments when Teofimo bursts forward, when the crowd gets loud, when momentum starts to shift, and the goal is to remain steady through all of it. He does not hurry through rounds, does not hunt for reactions, and does not mistake movement for control. Everything centers on efficiency, removing choices, and drawing errors without forcing exchanges. Shakur understands this fight will not be decided by emotion or volume. It will be won in the calm seconds between punches, where positioning matters more than power and patience overcomes impulse. His training shows that belief clearly. He is not preparing to prove a point. He is preparing to execute.
You was the one that wanted to fight, right?
Yeah. I actually set this fight up. And I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level, and I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough set, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Lamar Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Teo, he's a bigger name though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's on one belts at 35, one belts at 30, at 40.
While Shakur is focused on refining calm and accuracy, Teofimo Lopez is revealing something just as important in his own way. He speaks like someone who truly believes that ownership means something. Listening to this interview, it does not sound like a man trying to sell confidence to others. It sounds like a man reinforcing it within himself. Teofimo is not putting on a show of toughness. He is defending what he feels belongs to him. When he says Shakur cannot take what he has fought and sacrificed for, that is not promotion talk, it is about identity. What stands out is how aware he sounds. The video game references, the discussion around Roy Jones Jr., and the study of past greats like Roy Jones Jr. and Henry Armstrong all point to something deeper. This training camp is not just about feeding the ego, it is about learning. Teofimo understands that pure athletic ability will not be enough against Shakur Stevenson. That is why he is searching for added layers, misdirection, timing built off feints, and the subtle details that do not make highlight clips but can decide rounds.
Points in your career, right? You have to realize that you don't know everything, right? And sometimes you have those like the likes of Roy Jones Jr., who was arguably the best fighter in the 90s, even the early 2000s, and for him to want to help me in some sense, maybe there's something that I'm not possibly there yet with that he could possibly add to my arsenal, and I would love to see more. I would love to learn more.
I like that he openly says he does not have all the answers, because that shows progress, not weakness. When he speaks about mindset, faith, and destiny, you can hear how deeply this fight connects to legacy in his mind. He is not trying to talk louder than Shakur. He is trying to believe stronger than him. Even his response to Shakur being called boring is sharp. He does not brush it off. He accepts it and says that is exactly why he is here to disrupt it. That sums up Teofimo perfectly. He does not avoid narratives, he meets them directly. So while Shakur is quietly sharpening control, Teofimo is sharpening conviction in the noise, learning, adapting, and reinforcing the belief that when the bell rings, preparation combined with belief leads to takeover. Whether people agree with him or not, one thing is clear. He sounds focused, not scattered. That is a dangerous version of Teofimo Lopez heading into this fight.
Seeing him now kind of face to face, when you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think, I don't think too much of it. I think that he believes in himself, that's one thing, but I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this, and I'm not taking nothing from him, but...
Right after hearing Teofimo speak with that mix of belief, reflection, and strong ownership energy, the discussion shifts when Shane Mosley joins in, and it feels like a seasoned expert stepping in to ground the moment. When someone like Mosley calls this fight a true 50-50, it is not indecision, it is respect for the danger on both sides. What stands out is how simply he frames it. Not hype, not records, just one clear question. Who takes control first? That is where the real tension lives. You have Shakur wanting the fight calm, steady, and controlled, like he is slowly lowering the lights each round. Then you have Teofimo, who can flip a switch and turn movement, speed, and power into pure disruption. Mosley reminding people that Teofimo can truly box when he chooses is important, because many casual fans forget that. This is not a reckless fighter hoping for a lucky moment. This is someone who solved Lomachenko in real time, and that is far from ordinary.
But the first round is going to be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're going to start seeing one leave the other. Because I don't think that, maybe, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen, or different type of fighting we haven't seen, and vice versa, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle, that is kind of giving, Shakur Stevenson,
I think it will take a couple of rounds for things to really take shape, but the opening round should be very interesting. You might catch a few early signs, but by rounds 2 or 3, you will likely start to see one fighter begin to separate from the other. That said, nothing is guaranteed. Shakur may be pushed into showing a level of toughness or a style we have not fully seen if he is forced to go after Teofimo. And the same applies the other way around, with Teofimo throwing varied shots from different angles that have caused problems before. How those moments play out will tell us a lot, and that is what makes this matchup so intriguing.
and you're fighting at 140. So let's see. I don't know if Shakur Stevenson is going to get slower moving up in weight or not, where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. I think that he holds the weight probably really, really good.
The talk about moving up in weight sounds like experienced thinking, not fear or guesswork, just a calm wait to see how speed looks once the action starts. I also respect how Shane refuses to crown anyone too early. He explains that the first few rounds are about gathering information, but by round 2 or 3, one fighter will begin to leave clear marks on the fight. Either Shakur starts quietly pulling away with smart positioning and timing, or Teofimo begins landing those awkward angle shots that make you rethink everything. The best part is how Mosley brushes off predictions and says he is simply watching. That fits this fight perfectly. You do not study it to sound clever. You study it because the margins are razor thin. This is not about who looks better on paper. It is about who forces the other man into a version of himself he does not like. And when a Hall of Famer says he is grabbing popcorn instead of a scorecard, that is your cue. Get ready. This fight is going to show something real.
That Teofimo's delusional, Shakur has that same delusion. It's what propels both of them to the highest degree. Now here was them facing off a couple of months ago, I think, at this point. And this is what I was talking about. Shakur is in stature the bigger guy, which is crazy because he fights at the lower weight. He is a bit more skinny, obviously, but now he's coming up to 140, and it feels like Teofimo Lopez can't go much bigger than 140. Like, I've heard him talk about going to 147. That would be the highest I would think Teo should go, but here's their face-off.
Real quick, Izzy, you should be in the middle. I know I'm not. Yeah. There you go.
Like, these dudes don't hate each other, and you don't necessarily have to. There are certain fights where that level.
The talk about moving up in weight sounds like experienced thinking, not fear or guesswork, just a calm wait to see how speed looks once the action starts. I also respect how Shane refuses to crown anyone too early. He explains that the first few rounds are about gathering information, but by round 2 or 3, one fighter will begin to leave clear marks on the fight. Either Shakur starts quietly pulling away with smart positioning and timing, or Teofimo begins landing those awkward angle shots that make you rethink everything. The best part is how Mosley brushes off predictions and says he is simply watching. That fits this fight perfectly. You do not study it to sound clever. You study it because the margins are razor thin. This is not about who looks better on paper. It is about who forces the other man into a version of himself he does not like. And when a Hall of Famer says he is grabbing popcorn instead of a scorecard, that is your cue. Get ready. This fight is going to show something real.
Technical, both guys understand the sweet science and fight very smart. No one takes a ton of risks. Teo does have a bit more pop in his shots and can put you down, but if you take the risk of making a massive mistake versus a guy like Shakur, then Shakur will outbox you, outclass you, and take you into deep water. So we'll see. Stylistically, we'll see how this thing goes, because I don't see a super over-aggressive Teofimo Lopez. I don't see that. I don't see Shakur getting too out of pocket with him either, but we will have, I think, a very, very high-skill, high-level boxing match.
I'll be honest. I'm gonna be real honest.
What makes Wade's breakdown stand out is how grounded it feels. Even with all the hype, there is no attempt to sell this as a wild brawl or promise a knockout that might never happen. This is a high-skill test where problem-solving carries real consequences. When he calls it a chess match, it fits perfectly, just with pride involved. Shakur's approach is built on defensive offense, making opponents miss, quietly frustrating them, and collecting rounds while they search for momentum. Teofimo is dangerous because he can box as well, but he chooses his moments carefully. When he is locked in, small errors quickly turn into big moments. Wade noting that Teofimo has already tasted defeat while Shakur has not as important, not as a knock, but as context. It means Shakur still has questions to answer that Teofimo has already faced and survived, while Teofimo must show that his past inconsistency is truly behind him when it matters most. I like how Wade frames this as boxing returning to what it should be. The best fighting the best. No protection, no padding legacies. This is not about who talks or sells better. It is about who can truly own their style under pressure. This fight is not comfortable. It is revealing. And when analysts stop making predictions and start saying "let us see," that is when you know something real is happening.